live in a mansion! I drove a goddamn Bugatti to this club!
Something terrible has happened. I want all of you to know, and I want all of you to understand something. I live a very good life. I am a multimillionaire. I'm a retired professional athlete. I have 16 supercars. I live in this big-ass mansion. I live in Romania where I have political connections. I'm above the law. I can speed in fast cars. I can do whatever I want. I'm Steven Seagal. I'm above the law. I live a very good life. The only reason I have a YouTube channel at all is to educate some of you, because as you know, many of you are in my programs and you're learning lots of things about life and you're making lots of money. Now, let me tell you something that happens when you are a brilliant individual. You attract hate.
I live in a mansion!
That's what happens, right? And hate is fantastic because there's no such thing as bad press. I understand that the way I project myself and the way I act online is going to attribute hate from lesser individuals, because hate never comes from above. It always comes from lessers. Remember this. But sometimes some of the hate's worth replying to. So I did one for your mama's house. I replied to them.
So this bitch, sorry, I don't want to get banned. This female is the cheating one. The one who was on that 70s show is sucking dick.
They were kind of cool in the end. But now some new little girls come along, some little fat girl, and she's making videos about me. I think this is the second one the fat girl's done. And people keep saying, Tate, do a reply to the girl, do a reply to the fat girl. I don't normally talk to fat chicks. They've got to be pretty, I only talk to attractive women. But this little fat girl's made a video about me, so I'm gonna do a reply video.
Even with that reputation, I still look up to one man, Andrew Tate.
But from the few seconds I've watched, there's something very interesting I discovered. This girl and her little boyfriend, which jumps in later, they live the internet. And when I say live the internet, what I mean is, if my YouTube channel got deleted today, I would still be a 6'4" multimillionaire, retired world champion athlete. I would still be the kind of man everyone wants to be. If these guys lost their YouTube channels, they'd have nothing. There's nothing aspirational about them. No man wants to be them. No woman wants to fuck them. There's nothing. Nobody looks at them and goes, wow, never. Their whole life is based around the fact that they've managed to amass followers on a YouTube channel.
And with that, the audience will judge you at every turn. They'll dissect your personality, they'll examine your traits, and then they will label you with the results. So for example, if you go to my comments, you'll often see people refer to me as handsome, innovative, capable of growing a beard that definitely isn't reminiscent of Apache catfish, an alpha. But even with that reputation, I still look up to one man, Andrew Tate.
Okay, well, it's good to have female fans, as usual.
I've talked about this man in the past, and he still confuses me to this day. He's such a draw, because you want to hear the batshit things he's gonna say. And even crazier, you find yourself randomly agreeing with him. Like, oh fuck, is he right about everything?
Yes, I am. Now, you know what? Now I'm going to take it back. I apologize for calling you a girl. I'm sorry. I was going to call you a little fat girl the whole way through, and I shouldn't do that. You're a little fat boy, and I apologize for calling you a girl. You're a little fat boy, and I am right about everything. And I know I look like the kind of guy who used to pick on you in high school, and that's why you're upset, because I'm the archetype of the guy who used to bully you. But don't be afraid, my friend. I can teach you many things about the world. I'm a beacon of knowledge. Do you understand that I've lived a life you could never possibly live? You could never have 75 cam girls in your house making you money, making you a multimillionaire. You could never be a kickboxing world champion. You could never have been to Iraq, Baghdad, or Chisinau, Moldova. You could never have been arrested by Russian special forces. Problem is, on that overnight train, I nearly got robbed. That train is completely mafia run. So how the fuck do we get out? All the planes are booked for another week. We don't want to take the train again because of what happened the first time. It's a war zone. It's a fucking war. We're chilling. I see someone outside the car, blacked out, head to toe black. Get out of the car, get out of the car. Me and Tristan look at each other like, for fuck's sake. Like, we should have known better. Shit's about to go down. You could never have done any of the things I've talked about on this channel. I live for you so that I can learn lessons to teach you. People like me, basically Jesus Christ, are beacons for lesser individuals like you so you can learn via my experience. So of course I'm right about everything. Of course I am. You're a little fat boy. You can't be Tate. So pay attention. The gayest thing you can do is buy pictures of a chick's tits.
Andrew Tate is bald, by the way, and that's because he stopped caring about his hair. My prediction, however, is that he started to experience some form of male pattern baldness. And that's because he didn't have Keeps, today's sponsor. I've refused to get a haircut out of the fear that I will lose these luscious locks.
So he's selling a product here. Well, you can see here, you can see the pattern of my hair. I shaved my hair off. Actually, it's quite an interesting story about why I shaved my hair off. I shaved my hair off, I put this on Twitter because, it's a long story, I'll keep it short, but when I was young, my father said I should shave my hair off because he said, when you're a full-grown man, nobody cares what your hair looks like. They're gonna care about the quality of man you are as an individual. They don't care what your hair looks like, they care if you're big and strong and rich and successful and interesting and charming and smart. So you don't need hair. Any man who really thinks they need hair to be attractive to females or to matter in the real world has no substance. Nobody looks at Tate and goes, he's pushing a Lamborghini, he makes $10 or $15 million a year, he's strong, he's a retired kickboxing world champion, his father was a chess master, all these beautiful women love him, but don't like his haircut. Nobody thinks that, because as a man, your value is not derived from how you look. Your value is derived from your competency. How competent are you as a man? James Bond can change his haircut, he's still James Bond. This individual thinks hair is important because, like we've already discussed, there is nothing aspirational about him. There's nothing about him anyone wants to be, so he's gonna go down to infantile, pathetic little indicators of importance, such as a haircut.
Or click the link in the description to receive 50%. I wanted to revisit his content, but if I am going to do that, I'm gonna need a lot more testosterone on my side if I wanna make it out alive. So, ladies and gentlemen, please give a round.
Well, we agree on that, friend. Tate, how old are you now? I'm 34. And they said, your testosterone levels start to drop. And you can see here a picture of my test. And you can see from the test that I've never taken a steroid in my life. Anyone who knows and understands testosterone tests will be able to see here, I've never taken a steroid in my life. And my free testosterone level is double the average high amount found in the average male. God's blessed me. Like, power runs through my veins. I have fire blood. I was just given heaps of testosterone for basically no reason other than to live this fantastic life to educate you all. I'm Superman, genetically. I'm biologically wired, hormonally wired to be better than you. And especially better than this. Is he still a girl or is he a boy? I haven't decided. He's on the fence.
Gentlemen, please give a round of applause to our very special guest. He is a fellow YouTuber, musician, father, sweaty Rocket League player, winner of the Mr. Beast Circle Challenge, Leon Lush.
Never heard of her. Is this a boy or a girl?
Let's go, baby. Happy to be here. Thanks for having me on, Mr. GG.
Hey, I appreciate you coming on, Leon Lush. I appreciate that.
Okay. So, I mean, I'm not homophobic in any way, but I said the gayest thing that ever existed was buying a picture of a girl's tits. I'm going to change that. The gayest thing that's ever existed is these two on a YouTube video.
So, we have a playlist of Andrew Tate videos here. I'm going to let you choose your fate.
All right, for pretext now, you and I have both done a little bit on Andrew Tate because he is kind of a bit infamous, I guess, in the commentary community. A little bit of misogyny, some hedonism, just a tad. I don't know if you saw this, but since I last did my video, there was some more damning evidence came out about him, and as far as how he treats women, like pretty bad.
How does someone whose content is this level like get canceled on other stuff?
So that's Andrew Tate in a nutshell, basically. Hates women or thinks they're objects and thinks he's basically God.
He has a lot of wisdom.
Hating women. Women made me a multimillionaire. I have a whole bunch of beautiful women who adore me. I don't hate women because I have opinions on women. It's very often for beta males and lesser men like these guys with low testosterone levels. If you have an opinion on females, you hate them. So my view is very simple. I believe that men are better at some things and women are better at some things. If a man breaks into this house, I'm not going to send my woman to fight. I'm going to go fight because I believe that's my job. So do I see the women as inferior? Well, I do see the woman as inferior in regards to physical combat. Of course she is. So I'm going to go and fight. These dudes, oh no, we're equal. Women are my equal. You go check if someone broke in the house. That's the kind of men they are. And that's why me having an opinion on females, me saying, look, I'm better than women at some things, offends them because they see females as their equal. In fact, and I would know this from running a cam studio for many, many years. Anyone who's watching this doesn't know, I have a webcam studio, women work for me online. These guys look exactly like customers. These guys are the kind of guys who idolize females. They look at women and because they don't get any women, right? So they're completely, to them, women are goddesses. So that's why they take offense when a man like me doesn't see women as goddesses. I think they're humans, and I think they're good at some things. I think they're bad at some things. That only offends these men because they idolize females. They put them on a pedestal. They see females as above them. And that's down to their innate lack of masculinity and their innate lack of admirable attributes. There's nothing about these men which is admirable. So of course they see women as their superiors. Sorry, so edit myself. We're gonna go back to me talking about how these guys live on YouTube. These guys make their own videos, they edit their own videos. I work with a very capable cameraman. He's watching me right now as I speak. He films for me, he edits for me. I live a good life. You think I've got time to edit videos? I've got a guy who's like an expert who does that shit for me. I'm not a nerd like these two, whose whole life is based on their follower accounts. If they lost their follower accounts, you could walk past these dudes on the street and you know what would happen? You wouldn't even notice them. People walk past me and they're like, they're either intimidated or they remember me. You walk past these guys, they're just NPCs, characters in the Matrix, not ready to be unplugged, idolizing women, sitting around laughing at themselves because they can't grow a beard. Would you want to be that man? This is a genuine question. Imagine you're in the sky. You're in the clouds above. And God says, I'm about to make you born and you're going to live 80 human years. And your choice is, you can either be born as Andrew Tate, or you can be born as Mista GG, or you can be born as Lush. Lush is a sex toy for cam girls, by the way. So he chose a good name. Genuinely. So you're up in the sky, you're a spirit. You're going to be put in Andrew Tate's body and live his existence. You're going to live the existence of Mista GG, a little fat boy who makes videos on YouTube, or Lush, a sex toy. Who would you like to be? There's not a single person alive who would choose to be either of those two individuals over me. And this is true. Let's imagine it's like Sims and you're going to build your character. Because my character is based on hard work, right? You have to work your ass off. You have to work extremely hard to become a kickboxing world champion. You need to be brave. You need to train every single day. Then you got to make a whole bunch of money. Then women have to admire you, which means you have to be charismatic and smart and worthy of respect. All these things I've done, I've worked for. These men are extremely lazy. Their only idea of work is making YouTube videos. That's why they're not admirable. So if you were to say, look, here's your character. You can create your person from thin air without work required. Do you want to be Andrew Tate, a 6'4" kickboxing world champion multimillionaire? Or do you want to be this short, fat guy who can't grow a beard? Or the little sex toy one? No one wants to be them. If they had the choice, if they were spirits in the sky and could jump into a body, they'd choose me. Of course they would. I'd choose me. Anyone here being honest would choose me. No one wants to be these men. So when I said at the beginning that their entire lives are based around their YouTube channels, they're proving that to be true. When I said at the beginning that hate never comes from above, it always comes from below, that's glaringly obvious. I mean, if these men could do any of the things I've done, they do them, but they can't. Yeah, Spider-Man's a pussy.
Wait, what did you start with?
How this conversation started.
Because Spider-Man's a pussy. Right?
He is. Spider-Man is a pussy. What's wrong about that video? Spider-Man's a pussy.
You don't call it a brutal review and not call Spider-Man a pussy in the first sentence.
Agreed.
That's fair. That's fair.
I was talking about how all superhero movies are stupid and it's all bullshit, but the worst of them all is Spider-Man. Spider-Man is...
they're superhero movies. Of course they're bullshit. I don't know. We're talking about real life we're talking about a real life man that's a spider.
I think what's going to bother him is that he holds himself up in such high regard that anything that challenges that, even in fiction, he just fucking hates it. He's like,
Yes.
nope, can't achieve that. I've tried.
That's
Trust me,
true.
I'm very close.
He was a dork who got bit by a spider. Now he's super spider dork, and he still can't get laid.
By the way, one thing about Andrew Tate is everything in the world that has value revolves around coming back to the home base of can you get laid with it or not.
Yeah, so this is an interesting point. Everything in the world that has value comes back to the home base of can you get laid? Well, from a biological and from a historical perspective, the only men that reproduced were men of value, right? So if you look at humans from the dawn of time, only 10% of males reproduced. The majority of men died without ever reproducing, whereas 99% of females reproduced. So the point being that, yeah, if you're a high-value man that's achieved things of value, it's going to make you be perceived by females as a better mate. It doesn't matter if you make more money. It doesn't matter if you train and get a better body. It doesn't matter if you become more important. All these things are seen as admirable. They're all seen as something that a female wants in their partner. So when I link things back to getting laid, what I'm effectively doing is I'm going down to the baseline of humanity, the lowest common denominator, right? These dudes clearly struggle with women. I know they said Lush, the sex toy, is married to a 4. So, I mean, he's married to the kind of girl I reject. So, of course, if he finds it offensive when I mention that, yeah, sex is important, and your value as a man, to some degree, will always be derived by how many females want you. Females wanting you is a good indicator of value as a man. Just as a woman, your value is derived from men wanting you. Look at all these supermodels and all these Instagram models and all these women who are very beautiful. Their value is derived from the fact that men want to be with them. And a man's value is derived from the fact that women want to be with him. Now, because no women on earth want to fuck these guys, they're going to pretend that isn't true. This is the thing about life. When you live a second-rate existence like these betas have to, you either have to accept very harsh truths or deny them. They could accept that I'm superior to them physically and mentally and financially, and they can accept that anyone would rather be me than them, and they can accept that no female alive, not a single one, would choose them over me, including the wife of the sex toy. I mean, if I were to message her for 5 minutes, she'd leave him for me. Of course she would. But instead of accepting it, they'd rather deny the realities, and they continue to live in a dream. And by denying the realities, it prevents them from changing themselves. If the little fat one accepted the reality, he'd go on a diet, and he'd start to train. But he won't accept the reality, so he stays fat. So he'll sit and say, it doesn't matter, and he'll eat ice cream, because he lives in a dream.
Is he actually going to review the recent Spider-Man film, or is he just talking shit about Spider-Man?
No, he just doesn't like Peter Parker because he cried once in a scene.
If I was Spider-Man, you think that bitch wouldn't be sucking and fucking? By hook or by crook? If by some crazy twist of fate, she goes, no, I don't want to. I'd be like, psst, fuck you talking about no?
So he'd rape her, is what he's saying. Yeah. That's so...
It's so weird. I don't know why I still give him the benefit of the doubt in any type of situation. I thought he was just going to spray her in the face, run away, fuck you, how you going to get that web off?
The thing that's crazy about this guy is he does have this kind of cult following of these young men who revere him as like this sort of god that doesn't care. They're kind of using his veracity and his tenacity towards life to fill that void, and it's giving them a really, like an incel view of what it means to be a man, I think.
He's breeding.
An incel view of what it means to be a man, I think. Says the guy married to a kickboxing world champion who runs a webcam studio full of beautiful women. If you don't see the irony there, and his friend, his little partner who's agreeing with him, is a virgin.
Breeding more Andrew Tates around the world, and that's frightening.
The man, basically, if you've watched any of his content, which you have, like, he thinks women are just worthless objects, basically, only there to please men.
Not true at all. I think that men are better at some things and women are better at some things. He gets very offended. Let me look this guy's wife up. There. That's the guy who's giving you an opinion on women. There. Let's be honest, gentlemen. I'm not trying to throw shade. Look, I'm not trying to insult the guy. Do you want his wife? Okay, I'll show you my last 5 girls. And let me ask you, do you want his wife? Do you want his wife? Cameraman, do you want his wife? No. No one wants his wife. Why is he talking about women? The only woman you have is the woman nobody wants. I don't want her. Nobody watching this video wants her. If you were me and you actually had choice, you wouldn't want her. So why are you talking about chicks? Women, what is this? She looks like more of a dude than your boyfriend you're doing the video with. Unbelievable. Crazy.
Only there to please men.
I think one of the videos I watched, he was discussing women as a whole, and he was saying, well, it doesn't matter how much you try to instill into your daughters and stuff like that, they're still gonna suck dick.
I love the beginning. He was like, yeah, if I was Spider-Man, I'd be sucking and fucking all day. Like, if he actually directed the movie, it would just be a porn, basically.
Some robber killed his uncle. Is this the right story? And now he decides he wants to stop crime to get the robber who killed his uncle. Does he even catch that robber ever? I don't know. I'm genuinely asking. Does he catch the robber? I don't know. If you guys know about Spider-Man, tell me.
So he's making a review about Spider-Man with knowing nothing about Spider-Man.
Why the fuck would I watch Spider-Man? I'm a multi-millionaire. I fly on private jets and I drive Lamborghinis. You watch Spider-Man so you can look away from your wife for a few seconds. If I was you, I would watch Spider-Man. I'd keep my eyes glued to the screen so I don't have to look at the ogre next to me. Of course you watch Spider-Man, bro. I got stuff to do. Jesus, you got an idiot. You know why he's a pussy? I'll tell you why he's a pussy. Both of them. If someone insulted my chick, I'd say, okay, here's a first-class ticket. Let's throw down the cage. I'm going to insult his wife this whole way through his video. He won't show up and fight me. He won't do a single thing. He'll make another video back, crying about it. Andrew says bad things, my wife's ugly. Put a picture of your wife in the next video, bro. Let everyone make their own mind up. I don't have to say anything. Put a picture of your own wife in your own video. Jesus, what failure.
Man, that's also pretty on brand.
This is something small I really dislike about Andrew Tate, because he's done this before. He like plays stupid on so many things because he makes it seem like I can't be bothered to learn about this thing.
That's absolutely true. I've never watched Spider-Man, and I can't be bothered. It's not playing stupid. I haven't seen the fucking movies.
And virgins. You know the Spider-Man story. Everybody does. You were a kid at one point, you fuck. You know Spider-Man.
So there's a large part of what he does, which is intentional trolling, turning it up to an 11 in order to piss people off to get a reaction. But when you peel away like layers of the onion to see like, oh, is he doing that just to like troll? Like, you realize that's actually who he is as well.
I think if you watch Andrew Tate's videos, you start to think, okay, is this a facade? Is he playing a character? But when you watch enough of his videos, you start to hear him sound level-headed sometimes.
Does he hang the robber by his neck in the middle of the city with rope so he and hangs him to death? No. He takes his ass down the police station to fill in paperwork. What kind of fucking superhero are you? Killed your uncle.
I think he's just mad at the concept of a superhero.
Is that not true? This is what I mean. I am an extremely intelligent individual. I just said that if you're a superhero and you catch the man who kills your uncle, you hang him in the middle of the city to teach him a lesson for killing your uncle. And these men find that offensive. No, you can't hurt people who hurt your family. You take them to the police station. How can that offend you? Like, on what level must you be a bitch in your heart for that to offend you? So if I were to slap the wife of the sex toy, the ogre, if I were to slap her, his number one retribution to me would be to take me to the police station? That's what he'd do? Oh, you beat up my ogre, I'm gonna call the police. Like, these are men? It's just like, and then they find me offensive. I understand I'm abrasive. I come across that way on purpose. But I just don't think they realize the videos they're making, they're trying to hate on me, but they're just exuding feminine qualities. They're complaining about my hair. They're complaining that I would get retribution for a killed family member. They're complaining that I don't idolize females as gods. They're complaining, like, what are you complaining about? These guys sound like women. It's clear that the little fat boy has never had a girlfriend, and it's clear the sex toy's wife is in charge of him. It's obvious. It's obvious for everyone to see. And this is why they dislike me, a man who lives on his own terms. I have women so beautiful, women they could never possibly fathom touching, who can't control me. And they have ogres telling them what to do. Why do they hate Tate? Work it out. It's obvious. They're geeks.
Superhero. I don't think he's actually just hates Spider-Man.
Boiled down, he just hates the fact that fictionally someone has powers that exceed his own.
Excuse me. I never said Spider-Man's powers exceed mine. Spider-Man's powers do not exceed mine. I still have more power than Spider-Man. I just dislike him. Also, a lot of comics were made. People made a lot of comics about my Spider-Man adventures. In fact, we're going to put some screenshots in here. You can see my Aikido defeats Spider-Man. So Spider-Man, it's been proven in comic books. My Aikido defeats Spider-Man. Once again, incorrect.
If it's not actually Conan that's playing Spider-Man, oh boy.
They're not men.
There you go.
They're barely born. Look at these Spider-Men.
The first thing
No hesitation. Not men. Clear it up.
They're not men.
At least
But they're not. And they're going to laugh at that point because instead of accepting the reality that the characters who play Spider-Man are weak little boys, if they accept that reality, then they have to admit they're weak little boys. So they deny it. They're just denying reality. They're denying reality. They're denying the fact that no man wants to be them. They're denying the fact that they're not masculine individuals. They're denying everything. Oh, no, they're men too. They're men too because they look like pussies. I'm a man. I look like a pussy.
They're not men.
At least with Batman, they got Christian Bale.
You think you have to have a bicked, shaved head in order to be a man in Andrew Tate's wheelhouse?
You joke, Leon, but I remember watching a video, Tate on hair, where he talks about hair. You caring about your haircut and being like, oh, I want a little 3 on the side and I want it lined up right here, is you being an absolute pussy. That's why he just shaved his hair off.
Why is that not completely true? I'm genuinely asking, why is that not completely true? He even did can I have a 3 on the side in a pussy's voice. So he just did it in a pussy's voice because he knows it's true. So they're just going to state something which is true. They're going to say it in a pussy's voice, confirming I'm right, and then they're going to laugh about it to try and deny it because they don't want to accept that they're pussies. Here's a picture of me at 28 with a full head of hair. So, as usual, the sex toy is wrong. He chose wrong with his marriage because he chose an ogre. He's wrong with everything he said in the video. And his little YouTube partner, I think his YouTube partner might be a more attractive female than his wife is.
Anyone out there who can design comics, anyone who's good with drawing or whatever, I want a 3 or 4 page comic where Spider-Man meets me. We meet on top of a building. I call him a punk. He tries to throw some web at me. I use my Aikido ninja moves, and I destroy Spider-Man. We're gonna conquer Spider-Man right here, right now, and you're gonna help me. Fuck Spider-Man.
Does he? Bro, he couldn't even do a proper front flip, dude.
Excuse me, my flip was good.
Why do you have to?
Some of you who are really my fans, you've watched all my videos all the way back. I've got stuff from years ago, loads of stuff. But I can't remember if I've done this before. So if I've done this before, forgive me. But you ain't gonna be able to do shit about it because you ain't got hands like mine. So if you really wanna...
He's literally just threatening physical violence to the people.
Yes, I am. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. If my YouTube upsets you, listen, I just insulted your wife, right? Everyone who's gonna watch this, everyone who watches this who thinks his wife is ugly, write his wife is ugly in the comments. Let's get started, right? Everyone thinks your wife is ugly, bro. Little fat boy, you're a little fat boy. You're a geek. I will fight both of you at the same time in the cage. Same time, 2-on-1, national television here in Romania. There's an offer. I'll buy you a business class ticket to come get an ass kicking. I just insulted your wife, bro. Your wife. What are you gonna do about it? Make another YouTube video? Report me? Me. Be a man, show up. You won't. You won't, will you? Because you know that your wife's gonna watch you get your ass kicked and you have to go home to the ogre with a broken face. So of course I threaten violence because I'm capable of violence. This is the bottom line of masculinity. We just discussed how the bottom line of masculinity was females. Another bottom line of masculinity is the capability for violence. For the longest period of human time, a man was a man because he could fight. That's what being a man is. You have to be able to fight. You have to have choices to fuck. You clearly had no choice because of what you chose. If you had more than one option, you wouldn't have picked what you picked. But if you have choices and you can throw down, this is what being a man is all about, my friends. So of course I'm gonna threaten my YouTube viewers. If you don't like my YouTube channel, come do something, including you two punks. I am the kind of man who, for the majority of his life, found someone else in the world who thought they could beat me, agreed to a time, a date, and a place, trained, turned up, got in the ring or the cage, and fought to see who the better man was. You're the kind of man who makes shady YouTube videos. To all these bitches messaging me, all these hoes.
Emotionally exhausted.
Some of you who are really my fans, you've watched all my videos all the way back. I've got stuff from years ago, loads of stuff. But I can't remember if I've done this before. So if I've done this before, forgive me. But you ain't gonna be able to do shit about it because you ain't got hands like mine. So if you really wanna...
He's literally just threatening physical violence to the people watching his videos in the first 30 seconds. Does he have 2 camera angles, by the way, for the car video?
They grate on me and they piss me off. But the one that's probably up there that annoys me the most is she said yes.
So I'm kind of like anti super sentimental lovey-dovey stuff too. It like makes my skin kind of crawl a little bit, but I have the capacity to like feel happiness and, you know, congratulate.
I'm not a sociopath.
Yeah.
You know,
Oh my God, she said yes. Why are you with a bitch that would say no?
There you go.
There ain't a bitch I've fucked in the last 10 years who wouldn't say yes to me after getting fucked once. Fuck the relationship.
they have this slight freedom he kind of allows to them.
He thinks women have freedom. They don't have freedom, my friend. Because when they meet a man of substance, they're instantly enslaved. And they're not enslaved because I want to enslave them. They enslave themselves. They meet a man like me, they get fucked by a man like me, and they'll do anything to keep me. They are biologically wired to try and find the best possible mate for offspring. They want the best possible genetic choice. This is why women are happy to share a top-tier male. This is why every single woman out there will fuck an NBA star knowing he's not loyal. Loyalty doesn't matter to women. All they want is the genetic #1. How else are you gonna have a chess genius, kickboxing world champion, 6'4", multi-millionaire, bop. There's no one to replace me with, so they become enslaved. I don't have to do anything. I ignore their messages. They enslave themselves. This man thinks they have free will. Do you know why? Because on the very rare occasion that a woman is stupid enough to go anywhere near this dude, the first thing she does when she wakes up is regret it and leave.
As soon as he slangs that dick, it's all gone.
It's true. As soon as I sling that dick, it's all gone. It's true. The fact they cannot see that's true shows they've never done it. All the real G's watching this, All the real G's watching this. Am I telling the truth? You lay dick once right, boom, and it's over. I love you. I want to be with you. Oh, do you want me to cook? Oh, do you want me to clean? Why do you want to see me? I miss you. Da-da. All the real G's know. He's all like, oh, you fuck them once and they care about you? Because yes. You're clearly stating you can't do it, my friend. You are doing nothing but advertising your pussies. You're telling the world you can't fuck. Not only are you a fat little girl, you're back to being a girl. You can't fuck.
So I don't want to get married anyway, because if I want to sling this dick left, right, and center, I'm going to do it. I'm not going to sit there and go, if I put my dick in that bitch, then this bitch is going to go to the government and they're going to take half my stuff. No, thank you. I'm not stupid. Government needs to stay away from my equipment.
I'm confused. Andrew knows what a prenup is. Why is he acting like he doesn't know?
Andrew knows what a prenup is. He should just get a woman and have sex with her for 22 seconds and then make her sign a piece of paper to promise to not take half his stuff. Or could just not get married. Why would I do that? Men don't want to get married. Men get married. Let me tell you why men get married. Men get married for one of two reasons. One, the woman forces them. I want to get married. I want to get married. I want to get married. Oh, fine. Like a pussy. Or two, they're scared of losing the woman. Oh shit, she might leave me. She might leave me. Do you want to get married, baby? If you're me and you know the woman's never going to leave and the woman can't tell you what to do, why the fuck would you marry her? I'll never get married because I don't need to. I don't need to get married because my women can't leave me because they're enslaved to my ultimate power because they adore me. So why the fuck would I waste time and money getting married for? They're more loyal to me than, I guarantee you, my women are more loyal to me and love me more than the ogre loves that dude. He gets more shit off his ogre and her, why are you always busy? Oh, I'm sad, all this shit. She gives him more headache than my women will ever give me. Why would my women give me no headache? And he married his. He's proven my point absolutely. Marriage is for men like you. For one of the two reasons, probably a combination of both. Men like me don't need to get married. Let's listen to this little fat girl talk about prenups. I've got shit to do. I'm just looking at my fucking solid gold Hublot. It's sunny outside. I got a Ferrari. I'm sitting there looking at these dorks.
I know what that is in this scenario.
This is genuinely upsetting me. These nerds are wasting my life. I live a very good life. A whole hour of my fantastic life. Listen to these nerds, and not a little girl's gonna talk about prenups.
Out here on the streets, bitches waiting for me to mix it up in a pot, then me fucking sitting at home with some hoe. I said yes, so now I'm your wife, so why are you out so late? You better be quiet.
Hey, you better be quiet, or you know what's coming after that, huh? Just starts beating his GoPro right now.
I know it's hard for you, but let's try and do it bit by bit. You wake up, bitch here, the bitch here. Move them hoes out the way. You walk to the bathroom. You're 6'3", built like Hercules. Caramel. I'll walk into the fucking most premier establishment you can name with my shirt unbuttoned. So every bitch in there knows I cheat. I find myself super funny. I find myself super funny. I am super funny.
So every bitch in there knows that I cheat?
I think he's still throwing curveballs at me somehow, and I don't know how.
When you put a shirt on, do your little buttons up. You don't want anyone to look at you.
Here's where I get worried. You go to the comments, top comments. Seriously, who hates on Tate is one of the most genius ways of instilling confidence to everybody.
Exactly. So now they're going to go through my videos and see that everyone actually agrees with what I say. But they don't agree. And it bothers them they don't agree. And it bothers them like, oh, I can't possibly agree with him. And they said it themselves. They're conflicted. He says things that are true, but then I don't want to agree with him because if I agree with him, I have to accept I'm a loser. If you watch my entire channel and you agree with everything I say, the only logical conclusion at the end of it all is that men like both of you are losers. So although you know I'm telling the truth, you don't want to accept that you're losers. So you try and sit there and you try and establish dissonance. You try and make fun of it with little jokes. Oh, I lasted 22 seconds in bed. You make your little jokes, trying your best to pretend that everything I've said is not true. Because the more true it is, the bigger of a loser you are. And we're about to go through now a whole bunch of people in the comments saying I'm right. So guess what that says about you two dorks?
The delivery and everything else this man is about is completely toxic and terrible.
He didn't even...
Toxic. He's toxic. Oh, he's toxic. The man who beat the shit out of me in front of my wife was toxic. He's a dork. Turn up. Accept my invitation. Get on the plane. Get in the cage, and I'll show you what toxic is. Your wife could watch from somewhere at the back. This is Romania. We got beautiful women around. There's going to be like hot chicks around. She has to be in a burqa or something. We've already looked up the ogre. It's Leon Lush's wife. But it's very interesting to me because if you look up Leon Lush Instagram, Instagram is different than YouTube or Twitter, because Twitter you can get your ideas across, YouTube you edit little videos, but your Instagram really shows your life. That's what makes Instagram so interesting. Like, people who are, to be influential on Instagram, even if it's all fake, you still have to go to beautiful places. You still have to have a beautiful car. You still have to, even if it's airbrush, you still have to look good. Like, Instagram is a fake world, but still you can show your life. So I like to look at people's Instagrams because it says a lot about their life as a whole. So, I mean, we know what my Instagram's about. You can see my Instagram. You can see me. You see cars, money, glamorous locations, beautiful women. That's who I live. You know, I'm a full-grown man. I grew up with nothing, no family money, nothing. I started from a lesser place than these two. I decided to become a fighter, worked very hard, became a 4-time world champion, became a multimillionaire. And I enjoy the finest things on earth. I enjoy the finest Cuban cigars. I enjoy the finest cars money can buy. I enjoy big, expensive steaks and very nice 6-star hotels. This is what I enjoy. So that's what my life is about. My life is about achievement. My life's about being successful, and my life's about spending money. Because I made millions, so why the fuck not spend it? What's this guy's life about? It's just him, clips of him on YouTube. Isn't this the perfect circle to my video? What did I say at the beginning? That their entire existence is YouTube. Look at this guy's Instagram, ladies and gentlemen, Leon Lush. It's just clips and clips and clips of him on YouTube. Him on YouTube, him on YouTube, him dressed, covered in rose petals. I guess that's what a real man should look like instead of me. And just clips of him. Look, I did a new YouTube clip. Look, I did a new YouTube clip. Look, I did a new YouTube clip. Because his whole existence is YouTube. Outside of YouTube, I can see he has, what does he have? He has the ogre. He shows one picture of his wife, not very many, don't blame him. And then just YouTube clips. This is him without a beard. I mean, is that the kind of guy who gets bullied in school? A bit. There's nothing about this guy's life that's interesting or aspirational. I mean, he's doing the soy face, you know, the men when they're like, because they have low testosterone levels, he's doing that all over it. It's pretty embarrassing as a whole. I mean, this is him dressed as a tomato. I mean, this is the man telling you how a man should act. This is the man telling a 4-time kickboxing world champion multimillionaire how men act. It's quite interesting. Let's look at Mista GG. So, I mean, that's perfect circle. That's proved my point. That outside of their little YouTube videos, these guys are nothing. They have nothing. They've done nothing. Outside of getting YouTube followers, they've done nothing. They haven't been in the ring or the cage. They've not done anything in sports. They're not particularly financially successful. They've done nothing. And here we are again. YouTube clips. His whole life is YouTube clips. Hey guys, I made a new YouTube clip. I wake up, I drive supercars, I go and look at one of my casinos. I own 15 casinos, by the way. Sorry, I forgot to mention that. I go to look at my casinos. I spend time with beautiful women. I go to beautiful places. I do interesting things. These guys, I'm gonna make a new video and put it on my Instagram and my YouTube. Guys, I made a YouTube video. Guys, I made a YouTube video. Their whole existence is YouTube. Isn't that sad? Isn't that sad that that's how they define their individuality as a person? That's how they define. Here we go. Let's leave it on this. When you finally finish editing at 4:30 a.m. and hit 10K followers on Instagram while knocking on the door of 200K subs on YouTube, that's his comment to his picture. And this isn't relatable at all, as in he's the only man in the world to have ever done it. I just wanted to show off the onesie I bought for $3. And here he is, in a onesie, looking like a geek, bragging about the fact he has YouTube followers, because outside of YouTube, both of these men are nothing. And I am saying this genuinely man to man. You made a video making fun of me, I made fun of you, blah, blah, blah. But man to man, if anything I said has offended you, genuinely, you are welcome to travel to Bucharest, Romania, first-class flights. And that is a genuine offer, because how else are we going to settle this? You make a video, I make a video, it goes on forever. Both of you at the same time, versus me, no rules, bare knuckle. We'll do it in the cage, we'll do it on TV. It'll make a fantastic YouTube video. Otherwise, you're going to have to accept the fact that your Instagrams prove your lives are shit. Everyone would rather be me than you. And everybody knows one of you can't get laid and lasts 22 seconds, and the other one of you has married a female which is brutally unattractive. I know how losers think. I know what weaklings do. Of course, they will not accept my challenge to unarmed combat. Instead, they're going to try and report this video and make up some reason saying that I hurt their feelings, blah, blah, blah. So this video is also available on Odyssey, and it will be available on Odyssey until the end of time, me calling his wife an ogre, because she is. So if you do want to watch this video over and over and over again to laugh and laugh and laugh, there's a link in the description to the Odyssey account where they will not be able to ban me. His wife will eternally stay an ogre. The challenge will eternally stay open until he gets some balls and comes over here and gets his ass kicked.